About naman dun sa question mo kanina, bakit parang ang bilis nung mga pangyayari,
Mm.
ang bilis ng growth? Hindi ko din masasabing mabilis kasi there's a lot of pain throughout the process. Ang daming paghihirap, ang daming puyat, sacrifices. Pero I think ang pinaka naging game changer dito sa akin is yung eagerness ko to learn na from the very beginning, since simula kong i-explore yung freelancing, hindi ako nagsawa na mag-aral. And I think this will resonate to our listeners, no? So if you wanna achieve something, no, or kung gusto mo makapag-develop ng isang skill set
Mhm.
or gusto mong makapag-provide ng service sa client mo as a freelancer, kailangan
Welcome to the $1 Million Filipino Freelancer na podcast. This is Neil Reichel, and in today's episode, yan, madami dyan yung mga nagli-lead gen, tapos overthinking, tapos sasabihin, naku, ang hirap-hirap naman. Eto, meron tayong nahugot. Almost a year ago na siyang nag-reach out. Trivia. Sabi niya, paano po ba ako pwedeng makapag-share din ng naiintindihan ko? Sabi ko, eto ha, huwag kang iimik, guest. Sabi ko, sino kaya to? Tingnan ko nga, may sustansya talaga utak. Alam mo naman ako, dodero, yabang ko, taba ng utak ko, di ba? Ano nga, siya bida, ako hindi. Tapos, over time, nakita ko ba, pwede, may sustansya nga. Bakit ko ginagawa ba't ko pinapasok yung pagiging dodero? Kasi, I think as a listener, we deserve value. We don't deserve crap. Our attention is binabayaran na. Yun yung currency natin, yung attention. That's why we only deliver you the best. And ideally, hindi yung bangas na bangas na sa industry na, ito yung mga lodi natin. Ito, mga bago to. At kung hinahanap niyo po si Corina, nasa traffic po siya ngayon. Ako'y masayang-masaya na ipit siya sa traffic kasi lumabas si Corina ng bahay. Kaya i-introduce ko na ang ating guest ngayon. Ang guest natin, okay, pangalan niya, simpleng-simple lang. Okay? First thing that comes to mind nung narinig ko yung pangalan na to, kasi nga matanda ako, is si Computer Man na anak ni Dolphy. O, wag niyo nang i-google, mga panahon ni na Chuck Perez to. Okay? Pero ang taong ito, i-introduce natin, ang guest natin is the managing director. Siyempre, lagi ganun na. Pag mayayaman trivia, singit ko lang. Hindi nila pinapakilala ng sarili nila as owner. Lagi nila pinapakilala sarili nila as the employee of the company. Ang guest natin for the night, B2B ang pag-uusapan natin. Mr. Erickson, aka Eric Dalusong.
good evening, Coach Neil. Hello sa mga bashers natin na nakikinig dyan.
Yabak! Naka-high bashers agad. Nakikinig ka. Boss Eric, unang tanong na agad. Okay, kailan ka nagsimula ng freelancing?
Nag-start ako ng pandemic, katulad ng story ng mga ibang freelancers.
Mm.
So, nag-decide ako i-explore itong freelancing dahil worried ako noon about my full-time job.
Which
Kasi
was?
galing akong BPO,
Mm.
so TL ako doon. During that time, nagkakatanggalan and wala naman akong ipon noon, wala akong anything, hindi ako mayaman. So, I need to make sure na covered pa rin yung family ko, na meron akong something na mapaprovide sa kanila. Doon ako nag-start i-explore yung freelancing. So, una ko nakita yung Upwork sa YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then, nung nakita ko yung Upwork, the first thing na ginawa ko is, nag-create ako ng profile.
Mm-hmm.
Naglagay lang ako ng kahit na anong content.
Walang overthinking?
Walang overthinking. And nag-send ako kaagad ng 20 proposals. And sa Upwork kasi, di ba, magta-top up ka ng connections doon.
Yes, bayad. Bayad muna,
Yes.
bayad. Mm.
So, nagbayad muna ako, siguro mga 2,000. Tapos, nag-send ako ng madaming proposal. Masama nun, walang bumalik.
Ano mga trabaho naman kasi ang mga sinendan mong proposal?
Kahit ano lang. Kasi,
Uy.
yung thought process ko nun,
Mm.
baka makachamba ako.
Okay.
Baka maland ko yung first client ko if I will do the numbers game. Kung magsisend ako ng napakadaming proposal.
True. Lahat tayo ganun ang iniisip. I think lahat naman tayo ganun.
Yes.
Okay? And then, so walang bumalik.
Walang bumalik ng first day. Second day, inulit ko ulit. I think nung third day naubos yung tinop up ko na connections eh.
Okay. Ano sabi
Na-experience
ng
mo yun?
asawa mo nun? Ano sabi ng asawa mo nun?
Good question. Actually, nililihim ko sa kanya yung pagta-top up ko kasi malaking pera yung nilalabas ko eh. And that time
Appear
wala
muna, appear muna.
talaga.
Mga bashers na hindi nagsasabi sa mga asawa. I don't think this is commendable ha, pero it is a reality na kumbaga we, as much as possible, keep the pressure, the stress to ourselves. Na ay, naku, lagot tayo dito sa mga asawa natin. Na ang thinking ko is, ayoko ma-stress ka, ako na muna. Sige, kahandling ko to. Okay, go ba? Oh, ano sabi ng asawa mo? Hindi niya alam. O, go ba?
Hindi niya alam. So, nililihim ko yung pagta-top up ko. And then, after a couple of days na inuulit ko yung pagsasend ng proposal, nakachamba ako ng isa. So, may nag-reply
Mm.
na client. And walang interview. Sabi lang ni client, ito yung video, kaya mo ba tong gawin?
Ano trabaho?
Taga-upload ng logo sa WordPress website niya. So,
Magkano rate?
you're gonna be surprised, coach, kasi it's a fixed price na project
Mm.
and $10 yung project cost. So, ayun, going back dun sa sinabi ni client, kaya mo ba tong gawin? So,
Mm.
sabi ko sa kanya, sige, titignan ko, papanoorin ko yung video. Then, pinanood ko, pinakita ko sa kanya na nakaya naman. So, meron siyang parang binigyan niya na ako ng access ng login. Parang tinest niya muna ako. Nung nakita niya na kaya ko, ayun na, binigyan na niya ako ng contract na $10. And it took me 2 days bago ko ma-complete yung whole project. So $10, imagine that, $10 for 2 days. And yung thinking ko nun is not just to get money kasi meron pa akong full-time work at that time eh. Connected pa ako
Okay.
sa full-time work ko. My goal was just to gain experience. And yung $10 na yun, even if it's just $10, sobrang na-enjoy ko yung work na yun. Kasi finally nasabi ko, official freelancer na ako nun.
Kumita ako online. 'Di ba?
Kumita ko online ng $10.
Congrats.
Ayun.
Ano sa mga bashers natin, marami kasi dito, sheesh, nag-enroll na ako sa course na ganito. Nag-top up ako sa Upwork ko, 2,000. Ba't ko kukunin tong $10? Kalokohan to. Pero,
Yep.
'di ba, yung small win na yun, actually will build momentum. Ito yung question ko, nagkaroon pa ng isa pang trabaho or nagsunod-sunod ba yung trabaho with this particular client?
The answer is yes. Kasi
Okay.
yung $10 na job na yon, ginalingan ko nun. So,
Mhm.
nagpa-upload si prospect or si client pala ng 100 logos. Pero tinanong ko pa siya, meron ka pa bang ipapa-upload? Sabi niya, meron pa eh. Meron pa akong
Hmm.
another 50 dito. O sige, gawin ko na yan. So, dahil doon, binigyan niya ako ng magandang rating sa Upwork.
Okay.
And nandun pa din yun. Kumbaga, yun yung marka dun sa profile ko. And then, because of that review, nung nag-send ako ng sumunod na proposal, meron ulit akong nakuha na ibang client naman. And this is the worst because pinag-compile kami ng dictionary. Pinag-compile ako ng dictionary. Yeah,
Tapos,
manual. So, ang ginagawa namin na nakakatawa nga kinapi namin yung mga description doon sa Merriam-Webster ba yun?
mm,
Tapos nilagay ko sa spreadsheet. Kaya ako pala binabanggit yung namin. Kasi kaya siya worst, hinatak ko yung partner ko para
mm,
mag-work din doon sa client na yun.
okay.
And project-based din ito or fixed price na project. And this time medyo tumaas, $15 for the whole project.
Okay. O ba't naging worst?
The worst part, it took me 5 days to complete lahat. To complete yung whole project. And masama pa nun talaga, dalawa kami ng partner ko na kino-complete yung project na yun. Kasi ni-refer ko din siya dun sa client na yun eh.
And mind you, yung 15, hindi naman malinis na 15 ang makukuha mo doon. Kasi
Yes,
may cut pa si Upwork. Tama ba?
20% kapag ka nagsisimula ka. If
Oo,
if if
20%.
I'm not mistaken.
Oo, yun ang tanda ko rin kahit naman noon.
Yep.
Ha. So, I think this would be ano ba? Correct mo yung English ko, ikaw taga-BPO. Menial tasks. Tama? Kung
Ano
mga wala
yun?
lang,
Ah,
menial. Wala lang, parang ikaw lang gumawa nito, 'di ba? Yung tipong Googleable, YouTubeable, 'di ba? Hindi to mga
yep.
specialized task. Parang alam na agad ng kliyente, sayang oras ko kung akong gagawa nito. Sige, si find na lang someone like a neighbor, a kid, oh, this one, someone from the Philippines on Upwork, 'di ba? And have
Yep.
someone do it at $10, at $15. Okay. Paano ka napasok sa B2B lead gen?
Eto na nga. So, after nung mga projects na nabanggit ko, may mga sumunod pa. Pero to make the long story short, meron akong na-meet na client na dito ko natutunan kung ano yung skill set na meron ako. So, itong
Mhm.
si client, SDR siya sa isang B2B lead gen company sa US. So,
I-explain mong SDR. Sales Development Representative.
yup.
Pabida. Oh, go. Oh.
Ayun, so taga-hunting siya basically ng mga prospects. So,
Mhm.
nag-post siya ng job sa Upwork. Ang hinahanap niya, yung magiging assistant niya sa pag-run ng cold email and at the same time personal assistant din niya.
Okay.
So, yung mga taga-research ng best restaurants dun sa place na kung nasaan siya, taga-book ng ganito. So, that was the job post.
How much
So,
was this?
eto na, $6 per hour,
How many hours?
30 hours per week.
30 hours per. Oh,
Yup.
pwede na.
Yes, pwede na.
Pwede na. Pero malayo pa sa sweldo ng TL or wala, hindi ka na TL nung time na 'to?
Connected pa ako dun sa company. TL pa din ako nun.
Okay.
Pero, nahigitan nitong freelancing job ko, yung salary ko dun sa pagiging TL. Pero konti lang, very minimal lang yung difference.
Mm. Pero may tumutumbas na, 'di ba? Meron ng tumatapat. Teka lang, bago may tuloy. Sa 30 hours, may trabaho ka pa rin. Hindi ka ba parang, "Ba I feel so abused, hindi na ako natutulog." Kasi I doubt na pwede kang magtrabaho during shift. O nagagawa mo 'yun during shift mo?
Hindi ko siya ginagawa during shift as a respect dun sa full-time work ko. Pero dahil
Yes.
work from home, nakakatipid ako ng
Ah,
2 hours sa
oo,
transpo. So yung 2
oo.
hours na natitipid ko, imbes na magre-relax ako, ginagamit ko na lang siya para makapag-sideline dun sa client na yun.
Hindi ka nakaisip ng parang ano, yung mental health ko, kawawa naman ako. Wala kang gano'n?
Hindi, kasi kapagka nasa survival mode ka,
Hmm,
kapagka ang goal mo is to provide something for your family, hindi mo maiisip yung mga ganyan, eh.
totoo. Kahit puyat ano, hindi mo maisip yung puyat 'no?
Yup.
Parang, "Hindi, sige tiyagain ko 'to." Okay, so going back, B2B lead gen. So eto, si SDR na 'to, looking for someone, sending the cold emails, and then like a personal assistant then, you get 30 hours at $6 per hour. Sa Upwork pa rin ba 'to?
Sa Upwork pa din.
Okay, so hindi malinis na 180 a week, 'di ba? Pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Okay, kumusta? Anong nangyayari dito sa working experience mo na 'to?
So, ang pinaka-interesting na part dito sa work experience ko na 'to is that yung SDR na client ko, nag-start ng sarili niyang lead gen agency. So, dahil startup siya and ako yung parang, right hand niya,
Mhm,
natutunan ko yung process
mhm,
hanggang sa nung medyo lumaki na yung startup lead gen agency na sarili niya, na siya yung may-ari. Ang nangyari is in-appoint niya ako as, director of operations. So mas lumawak yung knowledge ko dun kasi bukod dun sa experience, marami siyang mga training resource na na ibinigay sa'kin. And super naging interesting para sa akin na aralin yung mga yon to the extent na hindi ako na-satisfy dun sa mga resources na binigay niya at nag-YouTube pa ako, nagbayad pa ako ng mga courses sa Udemy. So, dun nag-start yung pag-develop ko ng ganitong skill set.
pero hindi ka ba at during this time parang, "Hala, parang lugi naman ako, $6 per hour lang ako, dapat taasan niya na ako." Hindi ka ba nakakaisip nung panahon na yun?
Hindi, eh, well, gusto ko din, pero
Mm,
ang goal ko lang talaga nun is ma-sustain itong freelance job ko na 'to kasi maganda na, eh. Kumikita na ako ng maayos na pera, nasa bahay lang ako.
mm. May full-time job ka, tapos meron kang 30 hours a week.
Yup.
Wala kang commute, di ba? Wala kang biyahe, 2 hours yon, whether driving or, di ba, via Grab, kung ano man. Ay, malaking bagay nga yun. Okay, fast forward to today. Yan, eto. Parang hindi ko lang mag-gets itong, actually, there are many pieces that I want to look into. Bakit ang bilis ng progress mo? Anong meron? Kasi marami sa mga listeners natin, and not to belittle them ha, pero parang, wala, ang dami ko ng skills na alam. Kasi kung ano-ano, parang tayo nung nag-uumpisa, kahit ano, sige lang, para may makuhang client, di ba? Tapos ito, syempre yung mga una is, makakuha lang ng testimonial, makakuha lang ng proof na, uy, pwede nga talaga akong kumita sa freelancing. Pero ikaw ngayon, meron ka ng sarili mong lead gen agency. Ano yung, anong reason? Anong chamba ba? Ano bang meron? At meron ka ng agency ngayon?
Yup. Dahil naaral ko nga yung process dun sa job ko dun sa client na nakilala ko. Ang story nito, Coach Neil, is sinubukan kong i-offer yung service na natutunan ko from this client to another client. So, kumita ako ng $2,000 doon.
Mhm.
And then, wala akong masyadong effort kasi hindi ako nagta-time clock. Results lang yung kailangan ni client. And then, naisip ko, pwede pala akong kumita ng malaki kung ifa 5 times or 10x ko to. Bakit kaya hindi ako
Okay.
mag-start ng sarili kong agency? So, yun yung
Okay.
starting point nitong agency. And about naman dun sa question mo kanina, bakit parang ang bilis ng mga pangyayari,
Mm.
ang bilis ng growth? Hindi ko din masasabing mabilis kasi there's a lot of pain throughout the process. Ang daming paghihirap, ang daming puyat, sacrifices. Pero I think ang pinaka naging game changer dito sa akin is yung eagerness ko to learn na from the very beginning, since simula kong i-explore yung freelancing, hindi ako nagsawa na mag-aral. And I think this will resonate to our listeners, no? So if you wanna achieve something, no, or kung gusto mo makapag-develop ng isang skill set,
Mhm.
or gusto mong makapag-provide ng service sa client mo as a freelancer, kailangan yung eagerness to learn mo is nandun palagi. So you will stay relevant and you will be able to provide value. At the end of the day kasi value ang pinaka-important sa freelancing business.
Agree ako doon. Parang yung last interview si CC, CC Tan, bakit ang dali niya makakuha ng testimonials? Kasi over-delivering value. Hindi yung over pabebe ang ginagawa.
Yeah.
Ayoko na magtrabaho kasi mental health ko. Nothing wrong with mental health. Yes. Pero I think yung generation ko lalo, 40s and up, hindi namin masyadong iniintindi yun. Mas ang iniintindi namin is kailangan kumita, kailangan humataw. Kasi sayang yung opportunities to enjoy life now. Yun yung thinking. The boomers is walang gagastos. Kikita lang tayo ng kikita. Okay. The younger ones after us naman, the Gen Zs, I think, know how to appreciate themselves more. Pero marami din sa kanila are over-appreciating themselves and under-delivering in terms of work. Marami din sa amin, millennials, under-delivering.
Yep.
Pero ano kumbaga there's this, lumalaki yung gap kasi na puro self-care ang mas inuuna. I think the self-care really happens when you care for the others, especially for your clients. Ito question ko, Erica, maluho ka?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Sobrang maluho. Iba yung perception ko about money. For
Sige,
me,
game. Go.
money is supposed to be spent para sa akin.
Yes.
Bakit mo natanong yun? Naging curious lang ako, Coach.
Oo, siya pa mag-i-interview sa akin.
Ah,
Hindi, kasi 'di ba laging hindi ko alam sa parents mo, sa family namin, it's looked down na parang, "Ano, bago na naman suot mo? Wow, nangangarap ka magkaroon ng ganyan? Sama yan, be humble, stay simple." Laging gano'n ang sinasabi, "Wag gano'n, wag kang maningil ng mataas. Kawawa naman yung mga yon. Wag kang kain ng kain sa labas. Wag kang grab ng grab." Naku, pikon na ako sa gano'n. Wow, kailangan mo pa ng mic na Audio Technica, puwede naman bumili sa Shopee ng tig 300 lang. Yung mga tipong gano'n, ba't kailangan mo MacBook Pro, nagagawa din naman yan ng Windows na ganito. Parang kaya nga ako masipag eh. Kaya nga ako nagtsatsaga ng mga bagay na to. Kasi there are some things that I really like to enjoy in life. I really like to buy this car. I really like to go to this place. I really like to eat. I really like to buy my daughter ganito. I really like to treat my wife to this. And I don't think that it is wrong, pero it's my preference.
Yup.
Ngayon, so bakit nga natatanong, doon pumapasok lalo yung eagerness mo na magsipag, galingan, i-level up yung skill set mo para the clients that you get to start talking to and serving, 'di ba? They would also see the value na, ay, oo nga, pwede. Sige nga, okay yung charge ito. Eric, eto, may tanong ako sunod. So nag-start ka na ng agency mo. Maraming hirap, maraming sakit, maraming pinagdaanan. Isa sa mga pinaka-challenge ngayon ng mga freelancers sa kumikita, hiring. Marami ka bang pinagdaanan na heartaches sa pag-hire?
Anong klaseng heartaches?
Boss Eric, kaya ko yan. Basta ito ang rate ko. 100,000 a month ako. Kaya kong bigay ito sa'yo. Ganyan, 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 ganyan. Lahat ng leads, ako nang bahala. Oh. Tapos pagdating ng 3 months na, ngak-ngak pa rin. Langaw. As in, langaw talaga. May ganun ka ba?
Meron din. Ang
Nangingiti-ngiti siya.
yung mga
Oh.
na-experience ko kasi lately, meron yung magaling or ganadong-ganado sa umpisa. Pero after a couple of months, nag-iiba na yung rhythm sa work. So, yun yung parang pinaka nakita ko na parang heartache or naging problem ko dun sa hiring lately. So,
Sinisibak mo?
yes.
Paano? Sige nga, paturo nga. Paano magsibak?
Sa akin kasi, kung ang mga violation lang is nagkamali, I do think na yung mga pagkakamali, like, kunwari, nagkamali lang ng process sa work, pwedeng ma-correct yan eh. Pero kapag merong mga dishonesty or hindi nagiging honest yung tao,
Sample.
kunwari, alam mo yung mga time tracker, Coach Neil? Ayun. So, meron kasi akong naging experience lately na ang ginagawa niya sa time tracker niya, sinusuksukan niya ng may papel dun sa para may gumagalaw-galaw na na activity dun sa screen niya.
Oo. Yes.
Nangingiti ka.
Kasi
So, nahuli
nahuli nyo. Kasi
ko.
meron akong kilala. Ang ginawa, mahal ko tong taong to pero hindi ko papangalanan. Noong una, dinamay niya pa yung anak niya. Sabi niya, anak, pindutin mo lang, alt-tab lang. Alt-tab lang. Pindutin mo sa screen. Gumagalaw yung screen. Diba? So may activity tuloy yung screen. So
Yeah.
nahuli niyo. Okay, what happened?
Di, sinabi ko upfront dun sa tao na hindi ka na papasok tomorrow. We will deactivate all your logins. Kasi
Okay.
the first time na hinar ka namin, I was very clear, I was very upfront na we don't tolerate dishonesty. We have zero tolerance for dishonesty. So, ganun lang. Very, very casual lang yung pagkakasabi ko. And then, yun, deactivated na lahat. Hindi na pumasok yung guy. Guy talaga.
Zoom call to, Zoom call.
Slack lang.
Slack lang.
Oo, message lang. Nahuli ko na ganito yung ginagawa mo. Hindi
Pumalag
ako
pa.
happy. Hindi. Inadmit niya.
Oo.
That's the good thing naman, inadmit niya. Pero meron talaga akong zero tolerance when it comes to dishonesty.
I think malaking bagay yung experience mo bilang isang team leader. Kasi firing is a very hard thing to do. It's like breaking up with someone even if you know that other person is like cheating on you. But because of the habit, because of the routine that you know that you're living, yun nga na kayo magjowa, tipong gano'n, or ito yung talaga yung kapartner mo or yung ka-team mo, di ba? Parang, ay, inaanak ko na yung anak niya. Tipong gano'n.
Yep.
Tips nga doon sa mga hirap na hirap mag-file.
Ang tip ko lang, don't be afraid to let go. That's the number one thing. Kasi minsan, kapag alam natin magaling, nahirapan tayo mag-let go eh. Pero, mas importante yung values ng contractor, ng employee.
Yes.
I'm using the word contractor kasi may mga employees ako na contractor
Yes.
basis. Yun. So, don't be afraid to let go of people na hindi truthful at hindi honest sa'yo.
Mhm. I think it takes a lot of practice. Sa tingin ko ha. I myself, hirap talaga akong mag-fire. Kasi I get emotionally attached. On the other hand naman, I think it's a gift if, yun nga, you get to find nga real talent. Kasi yung compassion mo sa tao, well, tingin ko lang ha, tingin ko lang, team, pagalitan niyo ako kung feeling niyo wala akong compassion sa inyo ha. Pero yun. Okay, Eric, eto mga natutunan ko. Yung opportunity that you work with an SDR, I think para kang nag-skyway, 'di ba? Kasi yung SDR mismo went through battle-tested trainings, 'di ba? Tapos nung nagtayo siya ng sarili niya, lalo pa niyang binuhos lahat ng information sa iyo, yung training na yon. Are you still working with this SDR?
Yung client ko na SDR,
Yes, oo.
hindi na, matagal na.
How did you part ways and why did you part ways?
Nag-decide ako na iwanan na 'tong si client dahil nakita ko na may opportunity kung ako mismo yung mag-run ng sarili kong lead gen agency.
Mhm.
And sinabi ko din sa client na hanggang ganitong date na lang ako, hindi na ako makakapasok after nito. And naintindihan naman niya. So, okay naman yung naging
Wala kang
separation.
limiting beliefs na parang, hala, baka isipin niya wala akong utang na loob, baka sabihin niya ganito, ganito ako, baka siraan niya ako sa B2B na industry. Wala kang inisip na gano'n?
Wala eh, kasi super excited na ako that time dun sa opportunity na nakita ko eh.
And tawag dito, I'm happy na hindi ka nagkaroon gano'ng limiting beliefs. I think ang isang hindi pinakain sa'yo ng magulang mo, yung overthinking. No, hindi ka pinakain ng overthink. Kasi most of us, mga mortal ha, ikaw, sige, ikaw na yung immortal. Katulad namin, hala, baka isipin nga nung client na to, wala akong utang na loob. Hala, baka isipin niya, tong client na to na after teaching you everything, this is what, and to the point na I'll get stuck, I'm not happy with the work, and I'll just wait for the client to fire me. Parang gano'n.
Yep.
And then only then will I go ahead and proceed with my plans, which might be too late na, 'di ba? Okay,
Right.
Eric, eto yung fun part. The fun part is this, for listeners, would it be correct to assume that after listening to this episode, they don't have to go to the route na, sige, kahit anong lang trabaho sa job boards kukunin ko. And dahil napakinggan ko si Eric, B2B lead gen could also be one opportunity that I could go dive straight in. Tama ba yung assumption ko?
The answer is yes. There's a lot of opportunity in the B2B space,
Mhm.
especially if you have this skill set na kaya mong either mag-generate ng leads or
Mhm.
magdala ng sales para sa mga businesses.
Okay. So, park muna natin yung skill set. Usapang pera muna. What's the minimum opportunity na amount of money that someone can make if they're just starting out?
I would say na you can earn a starting rate of $2,000 fixed price or fixed cost every month,
Mhm.
and kaya mo siyang i-stretch hanggang $5,000. Depende yun
Isang
sa
tao lang 'to, Isang tao lang
ang
'to.
client. Yes.
Okay, isang client lang 'to. Okay, game. If I were to starting from scratch, sabi ko, "Shit, ito na 'yun. Matagal ko nang hinahanap 'to, si Eric lang pala ang tutulong sa akin listening to this podcast." Okay, where do they start? Gusto niya mag B2B lead gen, getting the first client.
I would suggest na mag-start kayo pag-identify ng skill set na pwede nyong i-offer. And there's a lot
Mm,
of skill set that you could offer in B2B.
mhm,
This could be running paid ads for a client,
okey.
cold email. Ito yung parang nakita ko na konti lang yung gumagawa. And the best part is napakadaming resources online. Free resources. We're talking about free resources na pwede mong aralin to learn cold emailing.
Mhm. So, hindi pala marami, akala ko naman sobrang saturated na 'yan, cold email wala na 'yan, dami ng gumagawa niyan, wala ng pag-asa diyan. So, sinasabi mo malaki pa ang opportunity even for cold emailing alone.
The answer is yes if you are doing it right. And for you to
Mm.
be able to do it right, kailangan aralin mo yung basics ng pagse-set up ng cold emails,
Mhm.
yung advance or sorry, not advance but yung foundation kung paano ka makakapag-create ng magandang copy.
Mhm.
And after learning yung basics and foundations, then you learn the advance or aralin mo yung mas high level na 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 paggawa ng cold email.
Okay. Siyempre madami diyan dudero, okay. Sige nga, Eric, kung ako prospect for your agency, what sets you apart? Kasi from what I'm seeing, if I go, check ko ngayon, type ko Facebook, Eric Sandalusong, lumalabas agad pangalan mo na eto yung mga pwede mong gawin. Basahin ko ha. Basahin ko lang. Sabi niya ang cover photo niya sa lead assassin ha. We find leads. 10 plus highly qualified leads every single month. 100% done for you. Not your ordinary agency. Para sa akin ha, this is what stands out agad. Ang nagsa-stand out agad sa akin is, wow, 10 plus lang highly qualified leads. There has to be a reason behind it. Bakit 10 plus lang? And then, yung gustong-gusto ko is yung 100% done for you. I think a lot of clients right now are lazy, tired as F talaga, as in pagod na sila. They just want someone to get this off their plate. Sila na lang gagawa. Please lang, parang ganon. So yun ang pinakagusto ko. Pero tell us what makes your agency stand out.
Unang-una coach, agree ako dun sa sinabi mo na maraming clients ngayon ang lazy or they
Mhm.
don't have the capacity to do it, to do yung specific service by themselves. And I think
Mhm.
this could be a perfect opportunity for us as freelancers. So, kung may mga clients na walang capacity to send cold emails, to run paid ads, ito yung perfect opportunity para makapaglaan tayo ng job. And
Mhm.
yung question mo kanina coach, what sets us apart is yung
Yes.
level of commitment namin. Nag-undercommit kami, sinasabi namin na 10 plus meetings, but we always over deliver. So, if you committed 10 meetings to your client, make it 20. Kung kaya mo 30, you make it 30. Kasi simple lang naman yung equation eh. If the clients are getting value out of your service, nakikita nila na you're doing whatever it takes, not doing your best, kasi there's a
Mhm.
difference between the two. If the client sees that you are doing whatever it takes, clients would be willing to spend money to you for you. So I guess yun yung nagsaset sa amin apart, yung level of commitment. So,
Oo.
yun.
Parang pasok ulit siya dun sa yung eagerness ba, 'di ba? Kasi best is subjective, yes, pero doing whatever it takes. 'Di ba? Instead, yun nga, ang deliverables natin 10 plus, 10 lang, 'di ba?
Yep.
Pero I'm doing whatever it takes to over-deliver pa. Ay, nagsa-stand out talaga. May I ask lang, how much do you charge a month for a client?
Dati, we used to charge ng month to month pero
Mm.
pinalitan ko na ng per quarter. So, ang basic package namin is 7,500 USD.
Mhm.
And yung pinaka highest tier namin is $18,000 per quarter.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Questions. Okay. Hindi ka ba natatakot na pag sinabi mong $18,000? Kasi sasabihin sa'yo, you're from the Philippines, you charge that much? Who are you? Be humble. Stay simple. Hindi ka parang nangingiwi doon.
Hindi eh. Kasi if you have this level of confidence na you can help them make more money or yung pinoprovide mo na service can help them make more money, by all means, I think hindi yun dapat mag-hold back sa'yo eh.
Yes.
So, to be honest then coach, I'm going to be
Mm.
transparent, no? Hindi ko pa nabebenta yung highest tier package na yun, yung
Okay
$18,000.
lang.
Yung
Mm.
first and second package lang. Pero may bumibili. So, to the extent na merong bumibili ng dalawa, ibig sabihin, meron ding client for sure na magiging willing to spend for the highest package.
What's the middle package?
$10,000.
Pang. Sa mga bashers, okay, marami nagsasabi, well, tinuturo naman 'to. Yung highest package mo could also be your hook. Siya yung pinaka magbibigay sa'yo ng perception in terms of pricing. That's why the second tier and the third tier would look more affordable. And most of the times we say the first package with the highest form of package, the highest package, para it gives them, wow, gonna express, oh, ang mahal ah. And then when you serve them the second tier and the third tier, parang, oy, oh nga no, I'm open to hearing it. Example ko lang, first time that you're going to buy a car, and then you say, uy, magkano itong SUV? Fortuner po namin is let's say 2.5 na. Example lang, kung Q yun something. And then we go, whoa! Pero meron din po kaming Fortuner ngayon na G, ito yung level, you can buy it at, let's say, 25,000. Ang down payment mo would be 1M. Parang, or 500,000. Parang, uy, nagiging reasonable. Now, ang nangyayari dito is that it's the client or the prospect mismo who starts to justify it for themselves. That's the point of the highest price. I don't know if
Yes.
Eric did that intentionally, pero that's one of the points of doing it. Eric, thank you for telling na hindi mo pa nabebenta yon. Pero eto siya. Ito ang pinaka nagustuhan ko bigla. Wait, teka, sagutin mo muna. Bakit ka nag-shift from monthly to quarterly? Di ba mas mahirap ibenta dapat ang quarterly? Kasi 3 months, mas malaking pera.
Tama yun, mas mahirap siya ibenta.
Mm-mm.
Pero the reason why we shifted to quarterly agreement is because yung 1 month, hindi siya enough time para sa amin na makapag-produce ng results. So, I always tell the client na we need at least 3 months
Mm-mm.
para ma-generate namin yung ganitong X amount of results.
Mm-mm. I think another thing dito is that when we tell clients that it's a monthly service, una-una maganda yon. Setting expectations muna. Na 3 months talaga. Kasi kung 1 month, hindi talaga namin kaya. We can't help you build half of the house in the first month. We can build you half of the house in 3 months. Tipong gano'n. So siya, alam niya na agad, di ba? Hindi yung, Eric, ano, what's happening na? Day 2 pa lang kayo, no? What's
Yep.
happening na? Nakakainis yung ganong clients. So we don't want those clients. The next part dito is, merong finite amount of time versus dun sa monthly na parang it sounds like a subscription that they have to pay month on month na walang definite end goal versus a 90-day package, a 3-month package, or a 12-month package. Lalabas na, pwede pala akong 90 days lang and then from there see the results. Malalaman ko na, 12 months, okay, and then see from the results. Hindi siya parang, yun nga, like a membership, a subscription na, hindi ko, so kailan ending nito? Ito, at least may ending. And then you just have to resell another 90-day package to them and see, uy, game tayo, round 2 tayo, round 3. Parang
Yep.
ganun ang dating. Okay. Na-excite ako kasi B2B, especially lead gen, is very undervalued. Yun ang tingin ko. Okay? So from what people are hearing right now, I hope marami ngayon ang maka-realize na simpleng pagdi-DM lang kahit on IG, malaking bagay yon.
Yes.
Pero ang paborito ko dito sa episode natin na to na hindi masyadong binigyan ng focus is the word B2B. Okay?
Yep.
Bakit? Kasi ang B2B ang kaban ng pera para sa akin. Kasi you are selling to an institution, a group, a company, okay? And yung binebenta nila is to another company as well. Kaya nga business to business siya. Imagine lang, si Del Monte is selling Delata, okay? So, if they hire Eric and his team to sell Delatas every day to consumers, one consumer can only buy so much Delatas, like 3 Delatas, di ba? And then, sige, tingnan natin next week kung bibili siya ulit. Pero they hire Eric and his team, the agency, to go to other companies na meron, let's say, commissaries, other companies who handle restaurants, food chain, logistics, hindi pong ganon. And then, for every client na mako-close ng client na to through the efforts ng lead gen ni na Eric, mahina siguro $500,000, $1 million. So, yung package ni Eric na 7.5, bariyang-bariya yon. So, kahit isa lang maklose niya out of the 10, or baka nga isa lang maklose niya out of the 90 days na nagtrabaho sila ni Eric, tubong-tubo pa rin yung kliyente na to. So, best lesson ko dito is B2B. Go to where the money is. Okay?
Yes.
Klarong-klaro. Eric, question ko sa'yo last is this. if I were to improve, if someone were listening ngayon doing B2B, okay, what do you think are like the 3 most common mistakes, especially when sending cold emails for clients?
Number one common mistake na nakikita ko is yung relevance ng cold email. Kasi most people tend to just craft a one generic email and
Mhm.
then isesend lang sa
Hanggang
kahit
ngayon,
sino.
ganun pa rin?
Yes, may mga ganun pa rin. And kaya ako
Okay.
sinasabi to kasi I get the same email every day.
Sample. Ano yung mga sinesend mo na nare-receive mo?
Yung, "Hi, hope you're doing well. My name is
Naku,
ganito from ganyan." Tapos sobrang aggressive pa ng call to action. "Would you be interested in a quick call next week or Tuesday next week?" So nakakatakot mag-respond.
may sisingit ako. Meron pa yung babanat, would you be opposed to the idea of generating a meeting next week? Ano? Ako opposed to ano? Nalito ako. Parang naiinis ako sa gano'n. Diretsuhin mo na lang. Okay. Ano mga subject line ng mga walay lang? Anong mga subject line niya?
Iba-iba, eh. Mga karamihan, mga salesy na subject line. Kunwari, improve communication at lead assassin, gano'n, kunwari.
Oh,
Yun. So, relevance, yun ang
generic. Okay. So,
oo.
walang relevance. Okay. Number
Oo.
one mistake. Second mistake.
Second mistake, eto yung pinaka-basic and eto
Mm.
yung kadalasan na-o-oversee ng mga freelancers at ng mga businesses, yung target audience mo or yung lead list mo. So, you have to make sure na dun sa lead list mo, dapat lahat ng yon right fit for your service, for your business. Dapat afford nila yung service mo. So, you have to qualify muna in advance. So, most people or most businesses don't qualify. And
Mhm.
then, kailangan din yung email address valid dapat yan. Kasi kadalasan ini-scoop lang natin yung mga email addresses sa kung saan online. Meron talagang mga resources where we can get valid email addresses. So very important na tama yung email address
Mhm.
ng sasenda mo ng cold email.
Feeling ko sinasabi, "Ay hindi, Snowview, okay na yan. Tapos ito yung email address o kaya mag-sales navigator ako, makukuha ko." Nangyayari pa rin ba na hindi valid yung mga email addresses na nakukuha from those?
Yes. Karamihan ng
Hmm.
mga list building software including
Mm.
Snowview, even yung Apollo,
Mm.
hindi valid yung email address na makukuha mo dun. So, you have to use another tool like Neverbounce, Million Verifier, Zero Bounce para ma-verify mo yung email addresses ng
Para hindi
prospect.
nasasayang yung
Yes.
pagse niyo. What happens ba if I just keep on sending out emails without verifying? I know number one, open rates ko will go down. Pero will it have any effect on the performance of the software that I use or deliverability ko? Meron bang effect yun?
Walang effect sa software, pero sa
Mhm.
deliverability, meron. Magkakaroon yun ng impact sa email reputation mo. And that's the last thing that you would like to happen kasi kapagka naapektuhan yung delivery ng email mo, yung mga susunod na batch ng emails mo, sa spam na yun maglalan. So, that's the worst thing that could happen kapagka hindi mo verify yung, pagka hindi mo make sure na verified yung mga email addresses. Pangalawa, masasayang yung time and effort mo. Kasi kung meron kang 10 prospects sa email list mo and hindi mo naman sigurado kung verified yung mga email addresses nun, tapos pinersonalize mo, nag-isip ka,
8 days ka
nag-research ka pa,
nag-isip, oo,
8 days ka nag-isip, nag-research ka pa, sayang lang yung effort mo. Waste of time and resource ang mangyayari.
totoo. Last words, Eric, if I were to start off with B2B lead gen, can I follow you ba on Facebook and learn from you?
The answer is yes. Kasi in the next couple of weeks, I'll be starting to post content related to B2B lead generation. So, tuturo ko din kung ano yung mga natutunan ko and I'm gonna share that with freelancers.
And do you have also plans of creating out nothing wrong with paid programs and learning from you directly so they don't have to go through, alam mo yun, aminin natin, yung ang dami mo na binili sa Udemy, ang dami mo biniling courses, tapos ang nangyayari, naging chop suey na lahat na hindi mo na alam kung alin ba dito ang gagana. May plans ka magturo in the future?
The answer is yes. Kasi what I found is that most people will value yung content or yung learning if they make at least a small investment.
Mhm. I agree.
Minsan pag libre, parang dinidisregard natin eh. So I
True.
wanna make people invest so that they will be excited to learn. They will be eager to learn. So the answer is
Yes.
yes, pero baka in the next couple of months pa.
Oh,
Yun yung phase 2.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Eric. Kung gusto niyo pong matuto from Eric, go ahead and check him out on Facebook, Eric Sondalusong. Check him out also on LinkedIn. Tingnan niyo din yung website niya. Hindi ko lalagay sa link. Hanapin niyo yung website niya. In fairness, ha? Okay, in fairness, it doesn't have his face on it. But what it's saying really is, it speaks directly to the market. So I think we can learn from him dun sa website niya pa lang alone. Next is ito. Tinanong ko kanina kung maluho siya. Stock niya siya. Nagta-travel. Bumabiyahe. So, ibig sabihin nun, legit, okay? Kaya niya talaga. Ngayon nga, naka-off-white pa eh. Pinagmamalaki ko naka-off. Hindi. Sa mga listeners natin, walang masama to enjoy the things in life, okay?
Yes.
Ang masama is, dinideprive mo yung sarili mo. And then tell yourself na, oy, Pat, good job ka kasi you sacrifice the day. Di tayo nilagay sa mundong to para mag-sacrifice. Nandito tayo para i-enjoy, pagbutihin, di ba? Makatulong. Yun siya. Mga
Yes.
bashers, maraming salamat. Eric, maraming salamat for your time.
Thank you din, Coach Neil. Salamat sa mga bashers na nakinig sa podcast natin today.
Yun.